Right now I'm just applying the polyester to the bed of the base, and I wanted to secure that before I do anything else to this leg, and I want to make sure to keep it far enough away from all the outer edges, because I won't be using this at the edges. It'll be only in the center. And I'm going to put some extra into this pinhole here. That way it helps to secure and further strengthen any kind of damage that may have been caused in the past. And before this sets up, I'm going to verify the sizes, making sure that both the two legs are exactly the same length, which is important when you're installing a mantle, to have the legs at the same length so that the joints are all consistent. So towards the end of yesterday, I filled the back of this of the leg with plaster, and just to get a nice straight line, because this will be the side that will go up against the wall at the back of the leg. I wanted a nice straight line, so I put a board up against it, and I was able to get a nice wet plaster in to really flow in and lock in with everything. So I built that up yesterday, and as you can see, it's pulling out some of the residual stains, because there was a lot of most likely like old creosote stains from soot. So as the stain surfaces, then I'll etch it back with the rubstone until it gets to a very neutral appearance. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going over this with a light wash of a watered down acrylic. So it's the same pigment that I've used in the plaster, and that allows me to blend in the plaster patch with the surrounding stone and balance out the different tones. So this is the last really nasty side to get cleaned up, and I just this is a good reminder to what the before and after about how rough these were at the beginning. So right now, what I'm doing is this is a bit of gray Portland cement that's um, left over from when this was on the firebox side. So this was a fire brick that was set into a niche, and so this was all plastered with fire brick in behind. So this is the stuff that I've got to get the Portland off and get it back without damaging the stone underneath as much as possible. So it's all about just a very gentle caressing off, and sometimes coming down from above and just stunning it off is the best approach. Just kind of bounce it off the surface. It's very difficult to get Portland off without contacting the stone beneath, just simply because Portland really gets a grip to everything. So once I've got all the high stuff off, then I'll do like on the other leg where I just rubbed off the rest using the rub stone. And then I can continue to fill this chase, which, as you can see, that I've already started filling it with surplus plaster that I had left over, some batches. So I just put it into the chase, knowing that I was gonna need it anyways. So in the last video, I had said I was going to pull out the bridge for this fireplace and show you the status of it. And just like with the legs, first thing to do is finish removing the peeling paint. So there's a little bit more than I had remembered there being when I first took a look at it. And so there's going to be a bit of picking to be done on this, but details will be revealed much more defined. And it's interesting that I'd remember this originally as being a much looser, clumsier execution on the carving. But in looking at it with a closer look, realized that in fact it's actually a much nicer piece than I had remembered. It's funny how the paint can really conceal a lot of the little details. It really changes the whole look of the piece. It's a simple, it's not a heavily undercut carving, but whoever was doing it knew exactly what they were doing. It was most likely a production piece. So it was probably done in a yard where they were producing multiple copies of similar mantles at a really relatively rapid rate, given the semi-rustic nature of it. But nevertheless, well done. So I'm actually glad. I'm glad that it's being saved. You can see here. This is I think this is some filler of epoxy. I'm not sure what used to be here. It's possible that there was some kind of a damper control that was once drilled in here. It's unfortunate that it's there. I'm going to see about backing off the epoxy and filling it with something more appropriate, because It's much harder than the surrounding stone. But you can see that the lines here pass right through, which means that this piece was pretty heavily cleaned in and around time when this epoxy was put in. And it would have been lovely to have seen it before it was heavily cleaned, because they used quite an aggressive sandpaper on it. It's again, like I said, about everything about this piece was unfortunately poorly done. And there's very little original evidence. I mean, there is some subtle areas like here of some original staining. And I have a feeling that this piece was quite dirty when it was new, or when before it was cleaned up. But you know, how much of the detail was lost, anyone can guess. Luckily, there's just enough of the detail left that we get an idea of what it was like. And it's a terrible shame when, you know, it almost looks like it's been sandblasted, the way that all the details have been softened off. And I have a feeling that when it was before it was cleaned, it was probably much crispier, much better defined. Would have been nice to have seen it. But nevertheless, it's still an interesting piece. And I think that someone will have a home for it. I think that it's interesting once it's all cleaned up. Once I'll fill these chips. And there's also you can see that there's a piece. Must have been some damage that somebody had done a Dutchman repair here. And I have the piece that was epoxied in here. Unfortunately it was poorly done, but nevertheless it is a match. So I'll put that back in. And what I've been working on here, as you can see, while I'm working on the bridge, this is the other leg that I've done filling. I'm just waiting for the plaster to dry, and I'll see where the status is for the toning of it. It takes a while for it to dry in, and then you can just see what where everything sits with toning it in. So it takes a little bit of trial and error to get it all matched in, and while you do that, then you can also color match it at the same time. So it's kind of like a blending in process. But as you can see, it's definitely looks a lot better than it did before it was filled, and when it's done, it'll look even better. So a helpful little tip if you're using the same technique of removing paint is for the final little bits that didn't flake off on their own, you can wet the stone with a bit of water, and helps to kind of soften the grip that the stone has on the paint, and helps to release the bond. It also helps to highlight the paint if it's a light color. But you can't beat the just a bit of patience and letting some frost take care of it, or some snow. Winter time, winter freezing temperatures take care of it. As you can see, slowly is being revealed. It's a very satisfying process. I quite enjoy it. It's not everybody's thing. Some people don't have the patience to do this kind of work, but I find it very relaxing. If you're looking at any of the, I don't know if you can see that, but if you're looking at any of the dark deposits underneath the paint through here, I believe that's some of the original staining. So there would have been quite a bit of soot embedded into the pores of the stone, and that's what you're looking at underneath the paint. It's only in the crooks and in the crevices that you can actually see the stain parts that weren't cleaned off. So something that I've come up against, which is kind of unexpected, was this it's rather interesting black deposit in the stone. I'm not really sure what exactly it is, if it's old soot or if it's maybe burnt paint. I'm not entirely sure. It's tough but and chewy. It's not it's really quite hard to say exactly what it is, but it's one of the things about working um, on pieces that you don't really know the origins of. You just really don't know what you're going to be up against. So I guess the reason why I'm showing this is because it's important to embrace unknown obstacles and not be flustered by them, because it happens on all projects, and it's a part of the excitement about you never know what you're going to find. Just like working in an old house, you never really know what you're going to find when you start peeling back the layers of history. And even though this is just one small piece, it still has a lot going on for it. So it's interesting. So I think that wraps up this video, and I'm going to make one more video to make this a 5-video series, and I think that should cover everything. So in the meantime, I'm going to finish this up, and then in the next video, I think that I might even put this up on a wall in the front part. So that would be cool to see this, because I've never seen it together before, other than I think I saw a photograph of it before it was taken down. So that'll be neat, and I'll share that with you. So if you're enjoying this kind of content, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell, subscribe. I think you know the drill. Costs you nothing, helps out the algorithm, Who knows, maybe in the future might even be monetized. Ooh, I don't know. Long way away. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying making this content for you, and I hope that you're getting value out of it, which is the whole reason why I'm doing this, is to share the knowledge. So, yeah, see you next time. Thanks for watching.